Strong winds today helped us give some of our warmest temperatures in a couple weeks, but will those temperatures stay warm as we're still tracking some rain and snow chances?
Plus, avalanche warnings reissued for high avalanche danger. We'll let you know where it's impacting the most tonight.
Plus, after weather-related shipping delays all across the country and in Spokane, we found out tonight how many doses have been allocated for the Spokane Arena mass vaccination clinic. Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 11. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
Hello everyone, I'm Regina Ahn. Well, we want to get right into our top story of the night. Of course, those are the strong winds sweeping through the area.
Meteorologist Thomas Patrick standing by from the Outdoor Weather Center tonight. And Thomas, that wind advisory was actually extended tonight, right?
Yeah, it went all the way until 11 o'clock, and I kept the map up through this top of the hour. But a lot of those tan-shaded counties have been dropped. Looks like southern Washington still remains under a wind advisory. But wind advisory or not, we just caught a pretty strong wind gust just a couple seconds before we came on the air. So I do think those wind gusts will still be as strong as 40 or 45 miles per hour through the evening hours tonight. Our sustained wind speeds are in the 20s, and we're still getting those gusts well into the 30 mile per hour range. So if you hear a little bit of rattling of the windows in the middle of the night, it's because the winds aren't really expected to die down anytime soon. Maybe a little bit easier by the time we get to the morning hours, but by a little bit easier, that means we're going from about 40 mile per hour wind gusts through about 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning down to about 25 once we get to the later morning hours tomorrow. All in all, still a breezy day for Tuesday, but at least not as strong as the winds that we are currently feeling right now. Temperature-wise, we are going to stabilize throughout the course of this week, probably right around 40 degrees. In fact, I have right at 40 for the Spokane area for tomorrow. But since we'll still be a little bit cold during the nights and maybe just above freezing during the day, it might be a close call between rain and snow chances when we get set chances, including tomorrow afternoon. So that will be one chance of some snow showers that we'll be tracking. But I'll show you how many days do have snow chances in our forecast and what this upcoming weekend is going to look like as well, all coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Thomas, thank you. Well, today Avista said it's prepared for those strong winds to move through the region.
That includes the possibility of outages from limbs or trees falling on power lines. In a press release, Avista said their crews are prepared to respond, and they're urging customers to prepare for potential storm damages and outages. Right now, they're reporting fewer than 15 people being affected by the outage in the St. Mary's area tonight. Well, even though both mountain passes are back open tonight, the threat for an avalanche remains high, which includes popular areas that people like to explore.
And as tempting as the snow is, professionals are begging you to be patient and get educated. Vanessa Missiana with our sister station in Seattle has the story.
With news of more powder, winter enthusiasts may be tempted to go out in it, but it's what's buried underneath that's the cause for concern.
The problem might be what's, 3 feet or 6 feet below you, not just the new snow that fell overnight.
Bram Thrift is the assistant patrol director at the summit at Snoqualmie. He says there's a weak snow layer from a January storm, and that's what's giving him and his team a lot of difficulty. Add wet, heavy snow on top of it, and that weak layer could give way.
The deeper it gets, the harder it is to trigger, but the greater the consequences are.
The summit decided to close Alpental this weekend just to be safe.
And then all of a sudden we got our entire winter in the last 10 days.
Ron Goins, chairman of the Kittitas County Search and Rescue, says with all that new snow, he's seen an increase in recreationalists. His team of 65 volunteers have gone on calls of lost hikers and snowmobilers, and also, sadly, a fatal avalanche.
People absolutely need to be aware of what they're up against when they go out in the backcountry.
Anytime you step onto a trail in the winter, your risk increases. Ron says gear and avalanche education is essential, but not just an online class. Hands-on rescue classes are the best way to equip yourself in case you or your partner gets buried, to know the procedure and to know what it physically takes to rescue someone.
Get the training and get the knowledge.
As far as ski patrollers working to get the mountain in tip-top shape, they ask for one thing: patience.
Understand that maybe there are certain days where there's places in the mountains that maybe you shouldn't be, or you just can't get there as soon as you'd like to.
New information now. Governor Jay Inslee is scheduled to visit Spokane tomorrow.
The governor is set to tour Stevens Elementary School. He'll see how returning to the classroom under coronavirus restrictions has impacted students and educators. We'll be touring with the governor tomorrow, so be sure to join us starting at 4 p.m. for all the latest information. In other news, a Delta flight headed to Seattle from Georgia had to be diverted to Salt Lake City after the crew reported engine issues.
Now, according to Delta, the flight was landed, quote, out of an abundance of caution after the crew got an indicator of a possible problem with one of its engines. Now, it's unclear what the exact issue was. The flight aboard a Boeing 757-200 landed safely without incident and taxied to the gate without assistance. The emergency landing comes just days after a debris from a United Airlines plane fell onto Denver suburbs during an emergency landing on Saturday. The plane that had an emergency landing in Denver Saturday was a Boeing 777, which is different than the one heading to Seattle today.
Bells tolled at the National Cathedral in Washington, D.C., marking a grim milestone in the pandemic. The bells rang 500 times in honor of the 500,000 Americans who have lost their lives to the virus. Today, the president, joined by the vice president, took a moment of silence as 500 candles lined the stairs of the South Portico. President Biden has ordered U.S. flags to be flown at half-staff this week.
And in response, Spokane Mayor Nadine Woodward has ordered flags at all city facilities to be lowered to half-staff. She said in a statement today, "We join the country in mourning the 500,000 Americans who have lost their lives to coronavirus." She goes on to say, "Tonight, we take a moment of silence to honor the 571 members of our community who have died because of coronavirus and send our sympathies and condolences to their families and friends." Flags will remain lowered until sunset Friday, February 26th.
Meantime, today, the Spokane Regional Health District is reporting 81 new COVID-19 cases in the county. They're also reporting 6 new deaths. There are currently 57 people hospitalized due to the virus.
And over in North Idaho now, the Panhandle Health District reporting 94 new COVID-19 cases. That includes today, Saturday, and Sunday. No new deaths have been reported there. Currently 22 people hospitalized due to the virus. The Washington Department of Health and CHAZ confirmed today that 8,000 doses of the Moderna vaccine are being allocated to the Spokane Arena mass vaccination site. The Washington Department of Health says deliveries have been delayed due to local and national weather events. Those with appointments scheduled for the first and second doses for tomorrow through the 27th will continue as planned. So again, if you have an appointment at the clinic tomorrow through the 27th, your appointment will continue as planned.
If you had an appointment scheduled for yesterday or today, you should be getting a call from the State Department of Health. They'll reschedule an appointment for you later this week. The caller will ask you to confirm your identity with your date of birth, and they'll not ask for any other information. So if you're worried and want to verify the caller is real, call the Department of Health's COVID hotline at 1-800-525-0271 and press pound to talk with a representative.
This just allows us to have a consolidated site where we can see more people and get through more people every day.
Well, a new clinic has been launched for those looking to get their coronavirus vaccine in Coeur d'Alene. Heritage Health and the Salvation Army partnering up to open a central vaccine clinic at the Kroc Center. It will be open Monday through Friday, appointments only. There is a waiting list, though, on Heritage Health's website. Anyone interested can sign up to secure an appointment for a later date.
And for more information about the coronavirus vaccine in Eastern Washington or North Idaho, just text the word vaccine to 509-448-2000 and we'll send a link directly to your phone. In the decision today, the Supreme Court will not stop the release of former President Donald Trump's tax returns. Why prosecutors want those documents next.
Plus, later in a post that has been since deleted, one Coeur d'Alene bar says it will no longer serve people with Washington IDs. How this move stems from an increase in alcohol-related incidents in the downtown area.